Lil Nas X took his horse down Old Town Road, made a pit stop in rehab for his mental health, and is opening up after successfully completing treatment.
And Beyonce dropped a short documentary about her husband Jay-Z's heartwarming hair journey. I was hoping for Act 3, but beggars can't be choosers.
A JP Morgan Chase executive got fired after stealing a limited edition orange and blue New York City garbage can during the Knicks NBA championship parade. She emptied all that garbage out on the street just to put her career in that trash can.
And finally, we honor the life and legacy of Grammy-nominated music producer Tay Keith, who has sadly passed away.
All that and more on today's episode of the Black and Snerdy podcast.
Adam has arrived.
Hey, Maurice and Odie gonna take over like Zach and Cody. Black and Snerdy is the best podcast. Gonna boom like Wile E. Coyote. Gonna make magic, they move like they hairy. Ain't talking about mental health, no, it's not scary. You know that she coming up with the astrology. Mo got a comic and that's the best policy. Maurice the GOAT, talking about animation cause you know. Odie, she moving wavy like the boat. Watching some movies and she taking notes. Yeah, kick back, listen. Black and Snerdy have risen. Upload on a mission. 5 stars, never dissing. Black and Snerdy, ooh. Black and Snerdy, yeah. Black and Snerdy.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Black and Snerdy podcast, the only podcast where two sexy black nerds get together to shoot the shit. I am Mo, aka Kid Licorice.
And I'm Odie.
And together we are the aforementioned Snurds here on episode 194 of the Black and Snerdy podcast. How are you doing?
Exhausted.
Yeah.
I'm tired. Today was a very long day. I am also apparently in a threads war with Colombia.
Yeah, you are.
Because I called out a wee bit of blackface at
just a smidge. Just a smidge of blackface.
At La Mundial. Yesterday that happened during the World Cup against when Colombia was going against Congo. There was a man dressed up as a palenque, which if you've ever seen the palenques, they are across Latin America. They are generally Afro-Latinos, women who wear these beautiful dresses. They dance around. They're like very colorful, all of that. That was what he dressed as. If you've ever seen Chiquita Banana, Carmen Miranda, think of that, right? Except for he decided he wanted to wear black cloth across his face and his body. And I said, that's odd. And some folks have taken issue. So,
yeah. And a little bit of it spilled over to the Black and Snerdy podcast clips, to which was given a response. Take that up with Odie on her post.
I mean, it really takes some dedication to research, to go dig deep enough to go and like find my post and go to my other page, go to this other post. Because it's not like he commented on my actual page. That would have been like, oh, sure. You're commenting on something on the podcast page. I mean, listen, I want the engagement for sure. Get our views up.
Sure.
You know?
And I could tell that the person was clearly a troll because they were a white guy from New Jersey who was in the military. I will not say what his name was or his handle or whatever like that. I will just say,
Miss me with that bullshit.
that's all I'll say.
Well, he was Latinx, but he was acting pretty white.
Yeah, very, very
shenanigan-y.
Very shenanigan-y. You know what I mean?
Deep into the I'm right, you're wrong.
Yeah. So, if ever Odie comments on something and you have issue with it, take it up with Odie. She's a strong black woman who will defend her stances, period, point blank.
Yeah, it's true.
Don't bring that shit here. Because we will shut that shit down and redirect it back to Odie. Because that's just what it is. Okay?
How are you doing?
Not great at all. Just a little bit of backstory. This is the second recording that we're doing.
It is. We
this
had some
day or
issues.
night. Yeah. There was a audio issue that I take responsibility for.
It was fun.
But ultimately, the footage was cool.
Been a great conversation.
Great, amazing
We have
conversation.
a special guest that will come with talk back with us later.
We will have them on at a later date, but you know what? It's fine. It lives ephemerally with us.
Yes,
Y'all don't get to see it ever.
Maybe at one time if we get a Patreon or something.
Yeah, maybe we'll throw it on a Patreon and say, hey, like, pay us $5 to see this unreleased footage. But for now, we're here. It's clear. You can hear us crystal clear. And we're moving
very
on.
Queer.
Yes, we are very queer. Well, one of us is more queer than the other, but it's not a
race.
I wasn't going to say that. It's not a competition.
Yes.
But if it is a competition, one of us is getting gold and the other one is getting bronze. Anyhow, do you want to get into the shenanigans?
I sure do, Fred.
All right. Who's Fred?
I don't know. It just came out.
Sure. Stick with it. Commit to the bit. I always say commit to the bit. It is time for us to get into pop topics.
When you want a hot meal without a big deal, what are you gonna pick?
Pop topics. All right. And we are starting things off with a little bit of positivity in the form of your favorite artist. And
Everybody's
I'm sure
favorite artist.
Your favorite artist, and I'm sure a lot of people's favorite artist, Beyonce. You said that like someone scored a goal in soccer.
On Telemundo.
We probably can't play the whole thing, but it's fine. It's the only Beyonce drop that I have. Yeah, she dropped the doc chronicling Jay-Z's hair journey.
Of taking out those locks.
Those locks. So
8 long years.
Yes. So for a little bit of backstory, for anybody who has not seen the doc yet, Beyonce narrates it. It basically tells the story of how Jay-Z ultimately started his locks, the origin of which was because their child, Blue, was not confident about her hair.
Which is crazy because he started this hair journey when she was like 3 years old. And for a 3-year-old to already be feeling like shame about their hair is honestly gross and disgusting.
It really is. And it reminds me of just like how much the social media was shitty and still is shitty when it comes to targeting like celebrity children
and just black children in general,
especially black children, but definitely like celebrity black children. There was a joke, quote unquote, that was in Difficult People. Did you ever see that show?
No, because of that joke, I never watched it.
Yeah, I forget what the actual joke was, but it was...
It was a joke about Blue Ivy. It was in poor taste. Everyone was upset about it. It was very similar to when Seth... What's his name? Not Seth Meyers. Family Guy?
Rogan, Seth MacFarlane?
Yeah, when Seth MacFarlane made that joke about Quo Vanzane, the actress from... Damn it, I'm forgetting the movie. But it was at the Oscars, and he was called her a cunt. And everyone was upset about it. Do you remember when that happened?
I do not remember that happening.
So basically, she had been getting a lot of praise. She'd been out a lot. She was very cute, spunky little black girl. And they were just like joking about her. And like, perhaps, I don't know if she would have been a little white girl if this had been, Ellie Fanning or whatever her name is, if they would have made the same joke about her. But when you think about how black girls from the time they come out the womb are targeted and talked negatively about, it just never sat right with anyone. And when the Difficult People made that comment, same thing. So even though there are people on that show I think are funny, but I just was like, I don't really feel interested now to go and watch this show when you're making jokes about a child. Because make a joke about Beyonce, make a joke about Jay-Z, make a joke about Solange, happy birthday. But you don't need to bring the kids into it because they are innocent. And so while Beyonce is narrating this documentary, she's talking about how Blue was feeling insecure with her hair. Jay-Z decided he was going to lock up his hair to show her like black hair is beautiful and all these things. And it basically chronicalizes like the week-long journey it took from him starting the delocking of his hair.
Yeah, because he decided that before he performed at the Roots picnic, in celebration of the anniversary of Reasonable Doubt
and honoring his father,
he decided that he was gonna unlock his hair,
which is honestly, I don't know.
That's a daunting task in and of itself.
It's crazy to try to unlock your hair because a lot of times I know folks who have done it and they've lost so much hair afterwards that they've just ended up cutting it because it's a very delicate process.
It really is. Honestly, at the time when I had locks and I just wanted to be done with the whole situation, I started with unlocking. I started with scheduling somebody to unlock it. Cost too much money and I was too poor at the time. So I was like, I'll just, go on Google and follow the instructions myself. And I just got tired and it was a daunting process. So I was like, you know what? I'll cut the hair all off. It'll grow back. It never did.
But it was really cool watching the documentary. One, because of course, getting little snippets of Beyonce's life is always a joy. We got to see Images of Blue, Rumi, Sir, a little tiny bit of Sir, because we know he doesn't really like to be in the limelight. We got to see just the journey of the two of them together, watching her like washing and detangling his hair and the love that went into that along with the other people. And I thought, to me, it was really beautiful because Black hair and the whole process of doing our hair has always been a very communal, loving act. Like there's always so much that's said about like, don't let people play in your hair, don't let anyone just go touch your hair.
Absolutely.
You have to be very mindful of that. So like seeing this process and how long it took, like 6-7 days is a long time.
It really is.
For one hairstyle, but they did it. And those sacred products, I'm still waiting for my drops, people. Please. My birthday was 10 days ago. And I need the drops now. And honestly, if you want to get that hair back, I think we just sprinkle some drops that leave in the moisturizer, the conditioner, and who knows, you could be looking like Jay-Z in a month.
Well, if you're looking for hair drops, I've got some for you.
What is it, the brakes?
Final thoughts on this documentary?
I thought it was really beautiful. I loved even though obviously it's an ad for Sacred, of course, but I thought it was very effective. It was great getting to see like it in use. I loved seeing all the products, the hair tools that they had, revolutionary. And it just made me really want Sacred because I have not purchased it for myself because it's too expensive. But I'm also just looking for more Beyonce content. I'm looking for the next album, Act 3. And I know that it's going to be amazing. What about you?
For me, I would say that the doc was very well done. I love the execution. I love the story, and I loved everybody in it. Jay's one of the greatest rappers, greatest music artists of all time. And he's one of my favorite rappers of all time. God MC. It just makes me a little bit jealous that for somebody who spent the majority of his career just having a Caesar cut and short hair, to see that he was able to grow all of that hair and then to be able to detangle it and, have it out and it remain. Yeah, I'm salty as shit, but good on him. Awesome doc, awesome execution. And as a special message for all of the Beyonce fans who are waiting for Act 3, I guarantee you, I'll put a Kelsey bet on it that this is a waiting for Godot situation. There's no Act 3 that's going to happen. Beyonce's not putting out any new music. It's not happening. She has literally all the money in the world. She has no reason to submit any more music to the Grammys just so that she will lose Best Album to whatever listless bullshit Taylor Swift decides to shit out. That's all I have for.
I have one quick question for you.
Yes.
Do you think that they burned Jay-Z's hair, like the comb out part? Do you think they burned it, or do you think they buried it, or do you think they just dumped it into the sea?
I don't know what they did, but I can guarantee you, at the very bare minimum, they brushed it off the shoulder.
Thank you.
Get that hair off your shoulder. You gotta get that hair off your shoulder.
Oh.
Moving on to the JP Morgan Chase executive who stole a limited edition garbage can in celebration of the Knicks winning the NBA championships 2026. This story is fucking crazy, and I love it.
So we have a little short clip of her name is Angie Baez, who was a former Chase executive after the Knicks parade.
Yeah.
So for the listeners, it is a video of Angie Baez dumping out trash from that trash can and then taking that trash can.
I think the best part is the people behind her like, what are you doing? Because they were just like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
First and foremost, I've seen so many more ridiculous things in New York that this wouldn't even, if 10 is the most ridiculous and 1 is the least, this wouldn't register as this would at best be a 6.
I don't know. I might think it's like a 4.
If I walked past this on the sidewalk, I would look and then go back to my phone as I copy and paste AI messages into applications.
Apparently, like, as I was doing some research, because it was like kept floating around that she got fired.
Sure.
So allegedly she worked at Chase. Reporters have reached out to the company.
Well, she did work at Chase. That part's not alleged.
No, she did work at Chase.
Yes.
But reporters have reached out to Chase. One spokesperson said that this employee no longer works for the company, which means she did work there.
Yes.
And they confirmed that, of course, she had worked there, but they did not give a reason as to why she is no longer working there. Didn't say if she was let go, if she left, if she was laid off, or anything like that. But that's just like JP Morgan Chase. You're missing out.
I looked at the sort of median, and they make like an executive would make 6 figures hands down, but we're talking about between $300,000 to $700,000 a year as a salary.
Because it says that she was, if she was an actual executive director, if that is true, it's about $250,000 to $350,000.
Oh, I looked at total
annual compensation, plus bonus, plus equity.
Yes. Okay. Maybe that was what the figure.
So if you're thinking like
was.
The average New Yorker is, if they're making 70,000, that's a huge if. I honestly would say if they're making like 50,000.
Yeah, I would say 50,000.
She was making much more times than the average person. And the crazy part is that the New York City is selling these trash cans now. If you would have just waited, right? And like, you're doing this in full view of everyone. At the very least, wait till you get to a back road, alley or something, dump out the trash, take the can with you, right? Because the thing is, if someone had just seen her on the train with the trash can and snapped a picture, nobody would know.
Nobody would be able to tie it back. Exactly.
It would have just been like, oh, cool, she got this thing. That's hilarious, right? Maybe she could have, pushed back. But if your freaking company sees you on the timeline dumping out trash onto the street, which I'm sure has to be some kind of illegal. I don't know, but it feels like it should be.
Yeah, I think she got fined.
Yeah,
I think there was a fine involved.
There would have to be. I'm sure Mom Donnie was like, if you don't put our fucking trash can back on the street.
Yeah, from what I saw, I think the fine was a few dollars more than what the trash can was worth once it went on sale.
Well, she had to bring the trash can back, so she doesn't even have the trash can anymore.
Yeah, so.
And then, it said that she had one fine. She had the sanitation police issued 2 summonses. One for littering for $75, one for impeding DSNY operations for $100. And those fines are the maximum allowed for first offenses.
Right. So then how much was the limited edition trash can that went on sale?
I think it was like $168. Let me see.
Yeah. So then she ultimately stole a trash can and ended up paying more for the crime of stealing a trash can than if her ass would have just waited and bought it the right way.
Yeah. I mean, you could have also just bought a fake whatever, a trash can.
You could have
painted
spray painted it.
That would have even been cheaper, honestly.
Yeah, like in this economy, like just do it yourself. DIY. I'm pretty sure there's somebody on YouTube who could give you step-by-step instructions on how to paint a trash can New York Knicks colors.
And I think also
you just order somebody off of Fiverr.
Yeah, well, for sure. You definitely could have Fiverr to do shooting for you. Yeah. But I think also kind of like undermines what people were talking about of like, oh, it's bringing the city together. Folks where you could have seen folks throughout the finals, after the parade and after we won and everything like that, like helping the trash, the garbage men pick up the trash, throw it out, all that. Like they were trying to make sure the city still looks good for the Knicks. You're out here fucking dumping the trash. If I was a garbage handler and I saw you dumping that fucking trash out, do you know how pissed off I would be? Because now who's gonna have to clean that up? It wasn't even. It wasn't in a bag.
No, it wasn't. It's just
trash.
Loose trash on the sidewalk. Final thoughts for this lady or this story?
For someone who made so much money, you were really dumb, and it annoys me at how much money you were making because of how dumb you were, and it just reminds me that so many dumb people are making way too much money.
Right. And for me, I would just say that if you are going to commit the crime of stealing limited edition New York stuff, all I would say is instead of doing it in broad daylight or surrounded by people who have cameras, all you have to do is to turn dark and do it under the cover of midnight. All I'm saying. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. Moving right along, we are going to check in with our favorite musical millennial.
Is he a millennial or is he Gen Z?
Gen Z. Yeah, he might be Gen Z. Anyhow, Lil Nas X, he is out of rehab. We reported several episodes ago, that Lil Nas X was checking himself into rehab after having a wee bit of a breakdown. I would say.
He was videotaped by strangers walking up and down a street in LA late at night wearing his underwear. Then it was alleged that he had tried to attack the police officers that were that came to check and see what was going on. He was then subsequently arrested. And at the time, he had said he wasn't on drugs, he was fine, etc. And he wasn't fine. He wasn't on drugs, but he did have some kind of mental breakdown or episode. And he spent the last 3 months or so in rehab, getting himself better.
Yeah. When I heard that he had checked himself into rehab, I ultimately wanted nothing but the best for him. I've enjoyed Lil Nas X's work. I know that some people view him as a controversial figure. Obviously, if you sort of do a bunch of shocking shenanigans with your music, like, I don't know, just being a black man entering the country music space and having the hit country music song, or I don't know, being controversial by having a music video in which you pole dance all the way down to hell and give Satan a lap dance, or do a video in which you and a bunch of men dance nakedly in a jail cell while Jack Harlow is just around.
Songs, great music videos.
Great. I like his music. I like his songs. I like him as an artist. I like what he's doing, and I like how he's moving. So I was a little disheartened that he like had what appeared to be some form of like episode. But I was happy that at the very least he was seeking help. He was seeking treatment, which was ultimately better in the long run. And now after finishing treatment, he, is discussing like his experience and how he was diagnosed as bipolar.
So on his Instagram, he posted up a 3-minute long video where he discussed his diagnosis, saying, "I feel like I had known for like the past few years, but I didn't want to admit to it because I didn't want to have to take medication. And I don't know, have people think different of me. I mean, I'm already Black and gay, like damn God, gay, bipolar, like I'm living life on extreme hard mode. But on a serious note, I'm doing much better. I'm feeling better. I'm creating freely, and there's less fear in my heart. I'm just smelling the roses," which, like, for me, I really appreciate his vulnerability and his transparency.
Sure.
I also relate to what he said. He's 27 years old. I wasn't diagnosed with ADHD until I was 27 years old. And before that happened, I felt very similar. Like, I feel like there's something going on with me. I cannot pinpoint it. I also don't think anyone would believe me because I'm so like accomplished and all that. And getting that diagnosis felt very freeing. But even then it was still scary because I was worried about what medication is going to do to me. Is it going to work? Am I going to become like a zombie? Which is something that when I was younger, a lot of the folks that I knew who were on ADHD medicine, that's what they talked about, like their feelings were. And a lot of people I met even in college were like, they hated taking it. So I was nervous about that. I was nervous about people thinking that when I was talking about how my ADHD impacts me, that it was just going to be an excuse. It was just something I'm making up. I'm exaggerating. Because if you're someone who has been able to make it through life and a good long stretch of it without having a severe mental health episode or looking a certain way or acting a certain way, people really do not often understand that there can be something going on internally with you that you're struggling with. But I think this was really important for people to see that it doesn't matter what you look like, how accomplished you are, how much money you have, you might need help that you don't realize. And it's important that you get that help. And I think compared to other celebrities that we know who have also come out to have mental health issues, like other rappers like Kanye West, who we know have come out, talked openly about having bipolar disorder, but have done nothing to help themselves. And him coming out and saying, this is what's going on. This is how I'm helping myself. This is how I'm healing. I think that could make a lot of people more open-minded to seeking help or just at least asking the questions. So I thought, I'm really proud of him, and I just want him to be better.
Yeah, same here. When I look at Lil Nas X and I hear that he's been diagnosed as bipolar, I don't know if he's bipolar 1 or bipolar 2. Doesn't matter. I see myself in him. Like, I am also a Black man. I am also a part of the LGBTQ community. I am the B in apartment 23. And I'm also bipolar. I'm bipolar 2. And so when I see him, sort of being vulnerable about his diagnosis and about his experience, it's like a reflection of myself. So all I can do is hope the best for him moving forward. And I hope that ultimately, this doesn't have a negative impact on his music career or whatever he decides to do after this. If he decides to pivot somewhere else, if he decides to continue doing music, whatever happens, I hope that he continues to, be aware of his neurodivergence, and he treats it and he owns and accepts it. That's all. That's all I will say.
And my biggest hope is that more people just open up to their own vulnerabilities and get help, and that this could be, a gateway for other young Black boys, gay, straight, or otherwise, to go and get help, for Black people to go and get help and not feel the stigma that surrounds it.
Absolutely, because we here at the Black and Sturdy podcast have always said that we are not mental health experts. We are mental health advocates, and we advocate for everybody to be aware, seek help, and be mindful of your mental health.
Go talk to the lady.
Go talk to the lady. Or if that lady is a guy, go talk to the man.
Go talk to somebody.
Talk to somebody and drink water. Now we will close out Pop Topics with a little bit of a remembrance to the late Tay Keith, who recently passed away. Tay Keith, of course, is the music producer behind so many amazing songs within the culture.
Mm-hmm.
If you have ever listened to one of his produced songs, there's a little tag that plays that essentially says, hey, Tay Keith, why don't you go rough those rapscallions up for me, please?
Well,
it actually goes like, Tay Keith, fuck them niggas up.
I think that Tay Keith has definitely fucked the Negroes up with this one.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that anyone I've seen talking about this or writing about this on the timeline or anything is just, everyone's just so devastated. He was young. He was only 29 years old.
Yeah.
So much life ahead of him. So much more things he could do. Like, I'm looking at his Genius right now, and his discography includes 863 songs.
Yeah, he was very prolific for essentially like for who he was and for how long he was in the music space. He did a lot.
And he did a song. He did one of Lil Nas X songs, "Holiday." I didn't even know that. He's worked with so many different people. He did the Beyonce's version of "Before I Let Go."
Yes, he did.
That was super popular. He did Sexy Red's "Pound Town." He's just had so many hits. And I was curious what your I was curious what some of your favorite Tay Keith. And I was thinking maybe you say one, I say one, we go back and forth.
We can totally do that. So what I will start off with, I'm gonna say my favorite for last.
Okay.
One of his more recent songs was with Travis Scott, 4x4. 4x4.
You're gonna have to sing.
I played that so many times, Odie.
I'm sure you've definitely played it, but how you're singing it, I did not understand. I do not know that song. Okay, so yours, you said
4x4.
4x4. All right. All right. I'll also leave my favorite to the end. One of the songs that I really like from his is "Sicko Mode" by Travis Scott.
I see. Yeah.
And I think that famous.
I feel like we already know what her favorite's going to be at the end because she already mentioned it before. But continue.
Travis Scott is historically not an artist that I love. You know, generally I hear a song that I didn't even know was his, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was cool. But I really love Sicko Mode. I thought the beat was great. And he did a great job on that. So
absolutely.
What was your next one?
My next one, "Look Alive." Block Boy JB.
Can you?
I wanna be drive like alive, like alive. Yeah, like and I listen. I know that we on this podcast have historically been Kendrick Lamar fans, but we can objectively admit that like there are some Drake songs in the past that are good.
We've never said
that one was one of them.
We have never said that Drake didn't have hits.
He does have hits.
We just wish that he would bring those hits back.
Exactly. And that was, and now I would say that was definitely one of them. I love that song. I played it like all year when it dropped.
Okay. I think another one which might be a little surprising, Ski.
I knew
by
it was gonna
Sexy
be.
Red.
I knew it was gonna be Ski. Ski.
Ski by Sexy Red. I love that song. I was just singing that song earlier today. It is pop. That's one of my stim songs because it just comes into my head randomly. All right, and last one.
This is gonna surprise you.
Okay.
He did, because initially I was gonna say Sicko Mode.
Okay.
Especially because Sicko Mode is close to my heart, because that was the song that played during my 30th birthday comedy show special, in which the video will never be shown because the person who owns that video will no longer talk to me. Anyhow, but honestly, he also did First Person Shooter.
Oh,
First Person Shooter Mode. Yeah. So, and honestly, like, if for nothing else, then that was the song that sparked the whole war that was like 2 years ago. And honestly, probably wouldn't have had that if it wasn't for that. So I love First Person Shooter.
All right. My favorite is Nonstop by Drake. That song, it came out on my birthday in 2018. The album came out on my birthday, and I was listening to it nonstop. It's still probably one of my favorite Drake songs. So he did his big one with that one.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I think that our hearts go out to his family, his friends, everyone that loves him. I read an article that said allegedly his girlfriend had called the police to get a wellness check on him. And that is how, because she was supposed to come over, he wasn't answering the phone. And that's how she found out. And the world then found out that he had passed away. And I just think it's just so horrible when someone so young and so talented passes away, because you know that they had so much more going for them. When he graduated, that was the picture that I had posted up of him. He did an interview and he talked about, like, you know, at 50 he planned to retire, he wanted to become a professor, you know, so you know that he had set his sights on things outside of rap, as in being a producer. And who knows, like, what's his name, Lupe Fiasco is a professor at MIT right now.
Exactly.
You know, could you have imagined having a Tay Keith, you know, in that space? And I think those are the things that, you know, we lose. It's the future of the person that we end up mourning.
Yes. So to Tay Keith, we celebrate your memory. We celebrate your life. The work that you put into the culture will always be remembered. And so RIP to you, Tay Keith.
R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P.
And thus that closes Pop Topics.
When you want a hot meal without a big deal, what are you gonna pick?
Pop Topics. Now we are moving on to the next thing, which of course is, you know what it is, right?
The things that made us
No.
mad.
No, it is not.
What is it?
It's Odie's Anime Breakdown! That's right. It is Odie's Anime Breakdown. This is the surprise segment that is whipped out every now and then. For those of y'all listeners who do not know, I, Mo Kid Licorice, am an anime enthusiast, diehard anime fan, loved anime ever since I was a kid. Odie is not an anime fan. She is a newbie. She is a newcomer. And so what I will do is I will give her an anime that I know she has watched, and I will ask her to explain the anime from her perspective within 1 minute.
I think that saying that you know that I've watched it is extremely limiting, and it's bordering on a lie. Okay, because I don't think that it's fair for something to just be playing absent-mindedly in the room, and without notice, I'm supposed to remember key elements of the story versus telling me, watch this one, so that I can lock in and remember it for next time.
But that's the fun of anime. When you watch anime, the stories are so unique that you literally have to go out of your way.
That is not true.
To not pay attention to the story, to not get what's going on in the story.
5 different animes that are at a school. They're dealing with fucking demons.
Sure.
Kids have magical powers and shit.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a equitable breakdown. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm putting 1 minute on the clock, and I want you, Odie, to describe in your own words the story of Rooster Fighter. You have 1 minute on the clock to describe the anime Rooster Fighter. Go.
Okay, so this story is about Mr. Clucker. That's not his real name, but I can't remember. That's the name the old man gave him. I can't remember his actual name, but he is a rooster that somehow gained magical powers after fighting this Kaji or demon, when the demon ate his sister, and so then all of a sudden this power was unlocked where his caca can blow them up, and so now he goes throughout, I'm assuming Japan, killing these demons that come out, and they're very weird looking demons, slightly Attack on Titan-ish, and then he also goes around fucking chickens. He then adopts a little baby chick and then has one of his ex-lovers come in. Now they're a 3-friend group walking around trying to save the world from these kaiju demons with his caca. And he can speak. I don't know if anyone else knows he can speak. It's weird.
Time's up.
Oh, God.
Okay, so that was Rooster Fighter. Before I describe Rooster Fighter, can you name any of the characters?
Mr. Cluckers, aka Teiji Keiji, and then the little chick, and then the girlfriend from the rich family that he had a one-night stand with, a consensual one-night stand. She fell in love and then came back to try to get her vengeance, like what is that called? Kill Bill, because he left her.
Sure. Rooster Fighter is an action comedy where humanity faces destruction from giant monster demons. The story follows a lone wandering rooster named Kaiji who travels across Japan using superhuman martial arts skills to defeat these monstrous threats and avenge his sister. Of course, you did mention Kaiji. Piyoko, or the Chicken Little, and Elizabeth, who is the black hen that he had sex with and had a one-night stand. Mm-hmm. I will give you this. This is on the side of anime that you retained as far as memory, which is especially impressive because it's been maybe like 1 week since we watched this, or at the very least, since I put it on before you walked into the room and watched to see if you would sit down and watch any of it. So there
was a fucking talking rooster. Of course, he was fucking people and fucking chickens. He was killing these mutant demons who were yelling advertisements at people. It was pretty memorable.
So what I would give you as far as a letter grade, I will give you a solid B.
A B?
Yes, I will give you a B for Beak.
A B?
For Rooster Fighter summary
that
from Odie.
An A plus.
No, you don't get an A plus. You didn't. You remembered one. You remembered one name.
I remembered character development.
You didn't remember character development.
Things.
You remembered the backstory.
I had 1 minute. I got a backstory. I got a current story. I got what the little characters were. I deserve an A plus personally.
Well, first off, you would get an A plus if you remembered all the characters' names, and
I don't even remember them talking to that, saying that little.
And also,
name.
every anime that has monsters in it, you refer to them as demons. So, like,
what are they demons? Yes, they are. So I don't understand. They're fucking demons. They were demons. He was walking out on his fucking fingernail legs.
Yes, a broken
Yelling
clock is right.
I deserve an A.
Twice a day.
Listeners, I would like you to tell him to change the grade, go back into the grade book. I deserve an A. I really deserve an A+ for remembering this fucking anime.
At best, I would give you a B+, but I'm not going higher than a B+.
You're a hater.
No, and that has been Odie's Anime Breakdown. An A+. You didn't even get you didn't name any of the other characters.
Who cares about the other characters besides Kaiji, the fucking yelling, teaming, fighting Rooster?
I guarantee.
What's the name of the show? Rooster Fighter. Who's the Rooster? Kaiji, whatever his name is. That's who it is.
I guarantee.
So that's the most important one.
I guarantee you wouldn't be saying that if somebody said, "Who cares about anybody other than Grey's and Grey's Anatomy? Who cares about that black doctor or that other black doctor?" No one gives. They're side characters.
I'm gonna start my.
Who gives a fuck about Don Cheadle, fake wannabe Isaiah Washington?
I'm going to start my own version of a breakdown, and I'm going to grade you just as harshly as you grade me.
Sure.
And we're gonna see about that.
What format or genre is it gonna be?
I'm not gonna say it because then you're gonna try to look it up and watch it while I'm not here.
Is it gonna be a fucking TikTok thing? Like,
I don't know.
Describe what's happening in this baby video.
I don't know. There's so much content out there. I can do a breakdown every episode for the next 50 years, and I'm gonna grade you super harshly on each and every one of them.
All right. So with that being said, now that we've taken that nice little fun detour, it is time for us to talk about the things that are pissing us off, that are annoying us, that are upsetting us, that are getting under our skin, that have gotten our goat. It is time for what's making us big mad.
Bringing it. What? We gripe it. We're not griping anywhere else. We gripe it. This safe space for us to share. We gripe it. We ain't griping anywhere else. We gripe it.
What's making you mad, Odie?
Well, let me pull it up real quick. So, as I mentioned at the top of the show, I'm in a threads war with Colombia. Okay, and this is why. While the reporters at Telemundo were announcing the start of the Congo versus Colombia game, this man here in this fake planque outfit and this black tarp over his skin, looking like a fake Chiquita banana, Carmen Miranda, he is behind them, waving, jumping around, da da da. Now, at first, I saw that and I said, well, this is fucked up. Why is there blackface on my TV at the World Cup right now? And I said, you know what? They can't, that's not their fault, right? They didn't do that. But then, while they're back in the stands, they zoom in on this man on the steps by himself. And I was just like, oh, so you just do not care. You're doing this you're just doing it on purpose. And then when I went on Twitter, the man that posted the picture, he is a journalist for Univision. His name is Felix. He is based in Miami, Florida. And he posted up the picture and said, cultural integration at the Guadalajara Stadium.
Is it the black man?
No,
is that the journalist?
No, the journalist is the man who posted it. The black man.
Oh, okay. Cause I was about to say, like,
Lumumba Villa. He is
okay.
A Congolese fan who dresses and portrays Lumumba.
Just trying to understand what's going on.
So, the thing about it is, I know that every culture is different, but one thing is true about any culture that the colonizers have touched, that there is probably going to be some kind of blackface there. And so the second thing to be true is that there has been pushback against that blackface, even if it is still used in cultural traditions today. If you go to Netherlands, or I believe in Netherlands or the Danish people or whatever, they have a Santa parade where they dress in blackface.
Isn't it Black Peter?
Black Peter. They dress up in blackface. They walk through the streets, right? This is not something that they consider racist. But Black people, whether they lived in the Netherlands or abroad, seen it and be like, hey, guys, that's weird. That's suspicious. We don't like that, right? And the same thing could be said here. Now, the Colombians on Threads have been getting in my ass for calling this out as racism, okay? And the thing is, there's a mixture. Some of them are like, yes, we agree, this is racist. Some of them are like, I'm Afro-Latino, I'm Afro-Colombian. It's a part of the culture. We don't mind. But here's the thing. Minstrelsy was also a part of the American culture as well. Black Americans were in blackface performing for white people. There was a reason why Steph and Fetch It were so popular, because they had to be doing these things to get seen. And so even something could be a part of your culture. That does not mean you don't have to interrogate it and say, I wonder if this is causing me harm or others harm. And honestly, it doesn't matter if you as a Black person don't care about it, because it could be causing harm to other Black people. And that's the problem. And I am so interested in really only speaking to Afro-Colombians about this issue, because they're the only ones I really want to talk about. But I'm mostly pissed off at this journalist who tweeted this out, because regardless of if he is not from America originally, he lives in America, in the American South. And as a journalist, you cannot tell me that you know nothing about the place that you live in and the politics of the place that you live in, that something like this could be seen as offensive. And currently, he has deleted this tweet because when he posted it, people were getting in his ass about it being racist. And I'm just sick of white people and their shenanigans. Just because you do not speak English doesn't mean you can't be racist. That's it.
Okay. As for me, this is all I will say. As somebody who's been unemployed since October, I have submitted a bunch of resumes and gotten rejected outright. I have been on a bunch of phone interviews and gotten rejected afterwards. I've been on a bunch of Zoom interviews and gotten rejected afterwards. I've been on a number of several rounds of interviews, which include technical interviews, which like doing some sort of presentation, which involves going on site for interviews in person. And I've gotten rejected. And you know what? All I can do is chalk that up to, I did my best.
But I guess my best wasn't good enough.
And honestly, that's fine with me. What I do not like, and what I will say, is that for any company that I have applied to, done research for, interviewed with, and then no matter whatever the round was, whether it be the first round, after the Zoom, after the phone call, after the on-site, you reject me? Okay. But if I see your fucking ads on my social media, if I see even one of them promoting your fucking SaaS or your stupid fucking products on your site or your stupid fucking logo when I'm going through my stories, get that shit out of my algorithm right now. I don't want to see any of your fucking shit. You don't get to fucking reject me and then proliferate my social media with your stupid ass products and your dumb ass company. I don't want it anywhere near me. Miss me with that bullshit and go eat the biggest, fattest piece of my ass. And that's it. And that's everything that's making us big mad.
All right.
Bring it. What?
We are now, as always, going to end things off with the things that are making us happy.
I'm the baby merchant. Tots are us. I give you all the service and no damn fuss. Give the baby merchant just a week or two. I'll have your baby for you.
what's making you happy this week?
Honestly, very little. But of those finite things that are making me happy, 1, doing this podcast with you. 2, reconnecting with old friends. As I mentioned before, one of the guests that was on the episode that is not going to be released on Friday that we recorded earlier today is a dear friend of mine. And in addition to that, somebody that we hopefully will have on the show in the future is also a dear friend of mine. Just having this opportunity to reach out to those who know me from the past and reconnecting and rekindling the friendships that we have has filled me with a sense of joy and optimism. Of course, doing this podcast with you is also one of the brightest spots in an otherwise dreary-weary world. And then finally, the last thing that I will say is that Genndy Tartakovsky has announced that he is doing a Conan the Barbarian animated series, which is gonna be fucking dope because he just finished Primal, which was
Primal.
Amazing in and of itself. I can't wait to see what he does with Conan the Barbarian. What is making you happy?
All right. Well, of course, doing this podcast with you.
Of course.
I am very appreciative of all the hard work you put into the podcast. You've been scouring the internet to find people for us to speak to. You have really leaned in to having guests, which I know was something that you were kind of unsure about at the beginning, but you've leaned into it. You are going full steam ahead, and you're making sure that we are a better podcast today than we were yesterday, right? And you just put a lot of work into the podcast, and I appreciate you for that. Other than that, it's the last week of school. I'm very happy about that. And because it's the end of the school year, we've also had prom and graduation. And I will just say, as frustrating as these kids can be, I am so immensely proud of all of them. Watching them graduate, seeing them at prom, I was just so overwhelmed with emotion. Because, they are little bright spots in the world, and they are growing up. They're becoming, young adults. Their life is ahead of them. And I hope that the time that they got to spend in middle school with us all together as teachers in my classroom was something that brought them joy, because they brought me joy at times. Sometimes they frustrated me, but even still, I think it was a lot to be learned on both ends. And I really do love them. And so I'm so heartened by seeing them succeed, seeing them grow. And I really hope to see where they are in the next 10, 20, 30 plus years, because so many of them are so amazing. They're so talented, and I hope that they really can see in themselves all the things that I see in them, because I know being a middle schooler is hard, even during the best of times. And, now it's even things feel so much more up in the air, and you don't know what to do, but I know that y'all can do it because you're amazing, and I love you.
Absolutely. And with that is everything that is making us happy.
I'm the baby merchant.
I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody for watching the podcast. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All of that shit is in the theme song or the closing song at the end. Until next time, I am Mo, aka Kid Licorice.
And I'm Odie.
And we're gonna be back for another one of these. Take it easy. Keep it sleazy. Bye.
Thanks for listening, nerds.
Keep the show growing. Listen, comment, and download on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, or watch full episodes on YouTube.
Follow the show at Black and Snerdy.
Follow me at Licorice is Legit.
Find me at That'sOD_E on Twitter and at That'sOD.E on Instagram.
This is the Black and Snerdy Podcast,
where nerds of a feather flock together.